Hello? Hello? Is anyone here? Let me make absolutely sure that this is live. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Oh, man, I better mute that. Okay. Yeah, just give us a few seconds here. Let me put a nice poll in the chat for all of you. Why are you in a suit? Oh, I do all my podcasts like this now. Every single one of them. You guys hear my god awful chair? Who is that? I don't have it open. Is that Marx Max Muscle?
Yes.
Yo, sounds a little presumptuous around here.
Can't you see me?
Okay, now I can, yeah. Well, no, I'm busy. I can now, but I'm busy typing out this poll.
John Cena, you can't see me.
I can't see you.
I am making chicken, by the way. I already started it.
Oh no. We won't be long. This
No,
was just
I'm just gonna go out
impromptu
and turn it. I'm just gonna go out and turn it in a minute, and then it'll be done. I'm just gonna turn it off,
on
and
the
then I'll
grill or
eat
on
it.
the stove.
Oh, on the frying pan, cast iron. I only use cast iron.
I gotta share this on all my socials. All the guys are gonna want to know. What is the thumbnail even when I go live from Zoom? It's just Dylan. Here. Mark's audio is not synced with this video. That always happens. Literally lagging Mark even when you're live.
Am I lagging, Mark?
Let me. Yeah, yeah, you are. Yeah, that's tough, but I think it'll be okay. Man, I need a half decent thumbnail for this?
I'm gonna go see what I can see on your channel. Oh, look, just says Dylan.
I know
Just
it's a
in
bit
small
ominous.
print. In small print.
Yeah, I gotta get a good thumbnail on there. I'll just make a nice little like oh, yeah, we'll just do something like this. Can you stop like moaning into the mic?
I showed up here early just so I could to
Just to get
join your live, and I'm rushing and having my shake. I should have just waited. I thought you guys were both on here.
I decided to join early. I don't want to keep the fans waiting. I had a good thumbnail. I had a good thumbnail in here.
You got 5 watching.
It'll do better with the thumbnail for sure.
All right, right back.
He's gone.
I'm still here.
Oh, I'm watching the YouTube playback instead of the actual Zoom at the moment because that's what I clicked on. Okay. Holy. Let's get a thumbnail on here. Oh, I could do it better. I can do it better. Well, we have time. We'll wait for Xavier anyway. We'll continue this heated discussion we just had on the Bodybuilding News Network podcast where Mark was just so wrong. So it's just laughably wrong that I had to come out here and show the public your denial, maybe you can call it. Is he gone? Am I talking to myself? That's hilarious. I was
Not
talking.
wrong. I'm correct. I could hear you out in my kitchen.
Okay.
My house ain't that big.
It's not what I heard.
What, my mansion?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mini home.
2 weeks. 2 weeks out. Can you believe that? 2 weeks out already?
Yeah.
Time flies when you're dying.
I just did a prediction video, so
Yeah, we can react to that because what was that? We saw your predictions. More of a wish list, I guess you could say.
no, I got it all here in black and white. I gotta tell you, Dylan, this is a pretty lame live you got going on here.
We don't even have this second guest yet. Hold your horses.
Let me
I
click on
swear.
this.
I swear. You
Look,
just wait.
I'm s- I'm still drinking my shake. Oh, that's way
Yes.
behind. That's
It-
way behind.
man, I'll just have to I'll just have to try to pick up, the context clues of your conversation because you're lagging, Mark.
I'm not even waving my hand yet. I'm way behind.
Let's see here.
This is not live, ladies and gentlemen.
Not for Mark, that's for sure.
No, my hand's still not up. Oh, there it is. Just now.
Wow.
Just now.
Let me.
And you got a fancy little poll. Who's winning the Olympia?
Oh, we haven't even gotten to the other discussion of your your Bonac hype train, your Bonac. Just overlooking so many things to put Bonac. Where do you have him in your predictions? Eighth?
8th place.
Oh boy. Oh
Easy.
boy.
Easily.
Get a. Oh, here we are. I'm about to put the thumbnail on, and we'll Xavier should be on any minute. Good
Xavier.
old. Yeah, 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 yeah. I was hoping you'd say that because I can't. Um, perfect. That should get the views. What's the term? Flocking here.
Would you do share it?
No, I'll put a good thumbnail on it.
Let me see.
It's just something I kind of already had. I got to be honest.
Live Mr. Olympia predictions. 2
2
weeks
weeks.
out.
That's so.
Yes,
Are we
sir.
live?
Oh, is that desktop bodybuilding? I was just putting you in the thing. Hold on. We are live. No, we are live. So don't say anything very racist like we know you've all said behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's not even racial undertones anymore. It's real. No, jokes.
Okay. Let me. Man,
Should I share this link? I should
You
share
should.
this bad boy out, shouldn't I?
You should.
I'll photography it. And so what are we discussing? We're discussing the
Oh man, we have so much. We're gonna
the
flesh
Europa.
out those Olympia predictions. That was like a little an appetizer for me. I need more.
Horse
It was helter
Duvers.
skelter.
Let's see here. Can I share my screen?
What did you say, Mark?
Horse Duvers.
Hors d'oeuvres?
What does that mean?
What he
Hors
said.
d'oeuvres.
Entree?
No. Entree is, but as we've
It's
come
like
to
an
find out,
entree,
entree, no, hors d'oeuvres are before.
yeah.
Entrees are too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, in your neck of the woods.
Tapas?
Australia?
That's like small plates, Spanish,
Canada.
no?
Canada and Australia are
words.
kind of the same. They're both like America Junior.
Exactly, yeah. We're like America / England Junior. We're like a
It's like
blend.
if you hear of an actor and they say, "Oh, he's not American," it's like, okay, well, he's either Australian or Canadian.
Yeah,
Michael
Ties
J.
only
Fox,
for
for
sure.
pre-recorded podcasts.
a lot
Yeah,
of
I saw
Canadian
you
actors.
ripping that tie off.
I've seen that too.
Seem very much like I'm taking the tie off, and now
Now
the real Dylan's coming out.
Now the
he's
real Dylan's coming out.
Giles. Now
This
he's
is
Giles.
this is my podcast. You people need to get in line. I swear. I
It's
swear.
Giles. It's Giles. He does
That's
that.
true.
That's what you have right now, the Giles.
I wish I was Giles. Okay. Okay. So it's time for some Olympia predictions 2 weeks out. Or as Xavier says, 2 weeks out. Two weeks
2 weeks,
out.
2 weeks out of the Olympia.
Oh man. Imagine if Australian people were real, or even people.
Man, if you came here and you went to a building site, you
Right.
would just hear the most Aussie accents ever. Because when you're around building type people, tradesmen, you might call them here,
Yeah.
Blue collar.
you will realize literally you start talking like them. You know what I mean? Like when I played football, but you sort of just talk a bit more Aussie and shit like that, and you just say and all these things over and over that are horrible, that sound awful on YouTube and platforms such as.
Yeah, I noticed you said something. What is it? Yeah, that's dope as. Like
Have I said that? I'm so sorry. I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
I would be too. I'm glad you're apologizing because I was.
I don't think I
deeply
would have
offended.
said dope as. I think I would have said dope AF. Saying
No,
AF
you
out
said
loud just
no.
doesn't
You
sound
said
cool.
dope as.
I apologize. That was a mistake.
Yes, as you should. As you should. Okay, it's time for some Olympia predictions. Let's get into the latest update. Let's get the latest updates of everyone, and we'll get into the discussion that we had at the end. We won't go for very long, maybe like an hour. All right. I'm
Tasty.
not. Excuse me.
Tasty.
All right.
I am going to have to excuse myself here a couple minutes, though. But I'm going to be right back.
Yes, we're aware. All right. So first up on the list, we got to talk about him first, straight away. The one and only brother Derek. So Mark is predicting him to win.
Brother Derek
Is winning.
Will win.
Okay, that makes Desktop the only person in this threesome that has not only Derek not in the no, you do have him top 2. You have him top 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate not having Derek winning, because the thing is,
'Cause-
I'm normally the person, like the proponent for like someone like him who's on the improve each year, being like, come on, he just won the Olympia. He's probably going to be better. How can you say he could lose it? I just think Andrew Jacks is going underrated. I think his Texas package was wild, and I think we're going to see something more wild.
I think the exact opposite. Like Texas, Mark, have you noticed any comparison you do with Andrew? Like, do you notice the it's not Andrew Knights, they're Andrew babies. So the term I've coined. Do you notice like this influx of like the Andrew hype train?
Well, I think it's there every time he nails it, and then they leave when he doesn't. And he's either hit or miss. And every time it seems at the Olympia, even he did this last year. The Texas, he looked awesome.
Yeah.
And then come Olympia.
Yeah, come Olympia. So I think
Mark, for some reason your voice dropped out. Then I saw your mouth still moving, but the
it's the
voice
lag.
didn't come out at the end.
It's the lag.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Lagging,
Yeah, no,
lagging
that
Mark.
lagging. Every one of my podcasts, it's lagging Mark. It is atrocious. It is atrocious.
Ignore
and it's
the
even
mouth.
worse.
It's
even
lagging
worse.
Mark.
And then see how far behind that is. And it's only when he joins my podcast. I have no idea. Like we just got on Josh's podcast. It was fine. We do ones with Kinson. It's fine, except for one time it wasn't, and it's just on mine only. I don't know.
Mm.
I
What
no
about
idea.
now?
Yep.
Yeah,
Way too
yeah, it's
late.
totally different.
I
About a
tried to
second.
ventriloquist myself.
Oh, I see. Okay. I think I think we should actually go
Oh,
about this another way.
you're right. It was way closer, Mark. It was way closer than what you just did.
Yeah, just do that the entire time.
I forget if
Let's
I'm talking after or before.
let's see here. So let's actually start
Hello.
from the bottom. Top fives. Top fives. Uh
Did I get it
Xavier,
there?
did he get
It's, yeah, you pretty much nailed it. Yeah.
it? um Xavier, you
Sorry.
Hello.
give give me your top five.
My top five of the Olympia. Okay, so first I have. Actually, I'm going to go from fifth. So it's
Are
like a
you too good for
reveal.
that? Are you too good for
A
that?
reveal. I'm too
Oh,
good for saying first. So I'm going to
Okay.
say in fifth place, I'm saying Martin Fitzwater. What? Oh, Dylan, you just disappeared for a second then too, and
sorry,
Mark just said I'd be
sorry,
back.
sorry.
So I was left by
Here's an
myself for a
elaborate
second. It
prank.
looked like.
Okay, fifth,
So
Martin.
fifth, Martin Fitzwater. Fourth place, I have who did I have in fourth? I have Hardy in fourth, which is controversial.
Yeah, I'm gonna save my
Uh,
ammunitions for later.
Third place, I have Samson. Now, I did have him in second, and I might move him back up there. But seeing Derek, there's a lot of skin on his profile right now, and he looks very damn impressive. And I think he's probably going to be better than last year. So,
And second,
yeah. Anyway, so second, Derek, and
and then
in
who's
first
your
place, I
first?
have Andrew Jacked. Yes, sir.
Wow, that is that. Those are
Uh,
predictions. Those are certainly predictions. Mark,
the Jacked one.
you can just reiterate your top five if from your video if you want to. If they've changed since then, that's all right. These are just soft predictions. 2 weeks out.
Wow. Derek winning. Hattie
Okay.
second. Nick third.
Okay.
Samson fourth.
Yes.
You said top five?
Yes.
Andrew Jacked fifth.
Okay. And then my
That's how
top.
crazy the Olympia is. I have
Well,
him
that's how crazy
first.
something is here. Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
Mm.
That's like propaganda. Anyway,
Well,
so I have my predictions are pretty close to Mark's actually. I have Andrew, Nick, Sampson, Hottie, Derek. And let me preface this
Same
because my
except Nick and Samson switched.
correct. My audience, well, sometimes not my audience. My audience is pretty smart. Some of the new people that come in, I'm saying this up front. This is not what I want to happen. This is not relative. I think this is all of ours for the most part. Um, we
Yeah,
don't
you
make
want to be
predictions.
right. You want
Yeah,
to be
we're not
right.
making predictions based on what we want. We're making predictions based on what's going to happen, what we think is going to happen. So if this was an ideal list, Martin would be in my top six. Andrew would probably be out of the top six. Hottie would be in first. I'd make a lot of changes if I could decide who lives and dies, but I can't, at least on stream. So
I'll be
we
right
have
back.
right,
Go ahead.
right.
I'll be...
Go get your chicken.
No, my wife's home.
Wife. Could you imagine that, Xavier? Could you imagine having a wife?
mm. Yeah, right.
Gross.
Yeah, right.
Anyway,
Men, men, women. Huh.
yeah, I'm glad Mark left us alone. Uh, because we need to talk about what you cooked up in your mind. And I don't want to say narrow mind because to have something this diabolical, it's certainly not narrow. So you have Martin in the top five, which Martin, some people are bullish on Martin. I've seen him in the top six over in some people's. That is the tip of the iceberg for you. And then in fourth, we have Adi Chupin, winner of the 2022 Mr. Let's be quite frank here. Winner of the 2023 Mr. Olympia in fourth.
Yeah, well, controversial, I know, but how did Hardy look at the Arnold UK?
Better than he
Yeah.
did the Olympia.
I'm a cat now.
Your cat is tank.
That's a Maine Coon.
That's a big boy. Big boy or big girl?
Boy.
What are you,
Ah, yeah,
pervert?
big
Why do
boy.
you need to know the gender of the cat?
Well, I don't want to call him a big boy if he's a big girl. If
You
she's a
are?
big girl.
It's the big cat.
Boy.
He's the big boy.
So Hadi and fourth. How do you
Closing my door?
reconcile that?
We're
Yeah,
live.
I think
Yeah.
Hardy
are.
in fourth.
Yes, we're live. Look at your phone.
We're
Yeah.
alive. Yeah.
We definitely are. So Hardy in fourth because I just think that from the front, yeah, you're going to see the most muscular and you're going to say, how is Hardy in fourth? But I think that there's the possibility that he could turn to the back and not be as crisp as Derek, be comparable with Andrew Jacked, and then Andrew Jacked could beat Hardy, I think, in like front double bicep, ab and thigh. I know ab and thigh is crazy on Hardy. I know that. But I still think people are saying that Hardy's ab and thigh is better than Andrew's. I think
It's-
Andrew's is
His
one of the best ever.
midsection is it's deeper when they're
Yeah.
when he
Yes.
was at the Olympia last year. You could set them up and look side by side, and you might still
Olympia
go
last
with
year,
Andrew.
yes.
You might still go with
Yeah.
Andrew, but
Oh,
it's pretty close. I think his
I just
The
ab
better
think
quads
Hardy-
gives it to Andrew.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
bad. I think it's more just the way the pose looks. Like, you know, like I just think the abs are so pretty on Andrew, and now he's so much bigger this year. I just think the last year version, yeah, like sort of, you know, I might have Hardy over him, ab and thigh, but
quads
or it's
look
very
great, too.
close. But this year, I just think it's a different Andrew. I just think it's going to be a such different Andrew to what we saw on the Olympia stage last year.
And what
that
makes
was
you think
thick,
that?
And
because he's got
Well,
arms now.
he's about 15 to 20 pounds. Well, apparently, according to Chris Aceto, he's going to be 20 pounds bigger because he's 15 pounds bigger than last year's Olympia.
And he's going to be 5 pounds up from that.
And he's going to be 5 pounds up from that. And then also, I heard on the latest Heavy Muscle Radio, Dave and Chris talking. And Chris was just sort of like, yeah, he's very big. So it's sort of like, just very like, you know, just very sure of that. And then Dave said, oh, can I save a weight? And Chris said, no. And then Dave said, it's a lot higher than you would think. So it sounds like he's maybe put on more than 5 pounds.
Yeah, because that's
he's in-
exactly what he needs.
Is he 300 pounds?
But last year, when he was prepping for the Olympia, Chris said he basically had to go to Nigeria, and he's in Nigeria for a lot of the prep, and he wasn't able to be like locked in. So he wasn't locked in and placed fifth in the world. He
Right.
said this year he like locked in fully, and he said he will. And Chris was so sure of it too. He said he'll grow into the show. He'll be better. He'll be 5 pounds bigger. Like to be that sure of it, and the fact he is, you know,
Was this the same rhetoric we saw last year? Was he saying Andrew's going to be on? Andrew's
No.
locked in. Okay,
not like that.
Okay.
No.
got it. So, but it's like it's not even just like Hottie below Andrew. It is Hottie below Derek and Samson. Why?
Derek beat Hardy last year.
Okay, I get that one. Okay,
You
but below Samson as well.
I still have a cup out there.
Samson, I nearly picked to win the Olympia this year. So on that premise, think about it though. Samson, I really believe in it's very distracting when he looks like he's blowing his nose later. You're expecting it to come again.
Exactly. Yes.
But I think Samson is going to be his best ever. So if you go on that premise, Samson, he's going to be at his best ever. Can that beat Hardy Chupin? I think it can, because I think we saw peak Hardy at the Arnold, Ohio. And we're on this, I think everyone, once you see someone improve, that you expect they're going to be the same or better again. I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case, because I think he took a step down at the Arnold UK. And could he, you know, bring that same as the Arnold UK? Would that be enough to win the Olympia this year? Maybe, maybe not.
No.
I don't know.
What
But
was better, Arnold UK or Olympia?
it's tough. See, that might be really close between those two packages. Maybe the Arnold UK slightly,
I think they're different.
but
I think he was
yeah, they're
big.
different.
I think he was big. I just did the comparison from the Olympia between
Yeah.
Derek and Hattie, and he looked massive.
Mm.
And I did give it to Hattie, by the way.
No, I watched that
Uh,
video. I watched all of it, and I agreed with most of your points. It's like I I fully like I'm still think it wasn't a knee jerk reaction, I guess is what I'm trying to get out. It's I had Hottie then, I had Hottie during the year, even after we saw the new Arnold
Yeah.
packages. And then I still have him over. I still have 2023 Hottie over Derek for winning the Olympia. I think it should have gone the other way. Um, but Hottie getting beat by Samson rather. Mark, do you see that? What's the possibility on that Hottie beating Samson?
Anything's possible in bodybuilding, but I don't see it.
Okay, is it likely?
No.
How unlikely is it?
10%.
Ooh, okay. And why?
Because it's
What?
just not going to happen.
Why?
Hattie doesn't drop the ball that far. Even if he does drop the ball, he came in prejudging soft in 2020. That's still more peeled than Samson.
Right. But okay, peak Samson or like Arnold UK, maybe a little bit sharper. Let's say a little bit bigger, a
What,
little bit sharper.
what is
It's,
peak Samson? Arnold
okay,
UK? That didn't beat Hattie.
that's so true. And Hottie wasn't his best at the Arnold UK.
And
It
Hattie
was
wasn't
slightly
his
worse.
best. Yeah.
Right. So Xavier, we're giving you room to retract your statement here.
He ain't
no,
going to budge.
He ain't gonna budge. That's so true.
I
Okay,
am
I'm not
firm.
budging on my opinions on Bonac.
how do you see it then? Why is Hottie getting beat by Samson? Is it shape? I'm trying to
Absolutely.
connect the dots here in your thinking.
You
Not
could
that
beat
it's
him on
wrong.
shape.
I'm just trying to understand it.
You could beat him on shape.
Well, yeah, I think it's roundness. I think honestly, like if you go by the percentages and I had to put my life on the line on who's going to win between Hardy and Samson, maybe I would say Hardy if I really like thought
The
deeply
truth
about it and
comes
was like,
out.
okay, what's the more sure thing?
True.
But I'm thinking that Samson is a more on the side that he's going to be better than ever.
You
And
think it's
just
his
saying
time?
that, I'm like, I
Look at
think,
that
yeah, I think it's his
right
time,
there.
and I think
Uh-huh.
Samson still has a little bit more room to improve. But yeah, when you look at Hardy, you're sort of reminded of how damn good that guy is.
This is the Arnold
There's the
UK.
UK.
This is the
Which
UK.
means he was great.
I think honestly, what hurt him the most was the delts.
The
Oh
back shot,
boy.
though. The back, he was a little softer in the back.
I think it was more of a case of Samson getting better than Hottie getting worse, and that's
Could
what
be.
made it a bit closer.
I could
Because
be
Samson
inclined to
definitely
believe
stepped.
that.
Okay, but the delts. Oh man, did you? I'm sure you saw that, and it will be an issue if they're like this again. Like they've already docked Hottie an Olympia before. Like you cannot show up like that.
I think it's the angle of the video too. Like he just doesn't look as hard here. He doesn't look as big, and then the delts look worse. I'm like, is it just the angle of the video and the lighting's great. You can see everything, but sometimes just certain lighting, like maybe slightly overexposed or whatever with the camera settings, those don't look. I mean, he still looks hard. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah,
this doesn't look like the typical.
the
You don't see
hardest
the full
Hottie.
striations in the chest. I don't know if he's a little flat. You know what I mean? Like
I
there's
no no.
you
I
normally
would
see like
definitely
crazy.
Was it 1 week?
okay.
2 weeks
Two
between?
two yeah.
Two? Was it?
Two.
Yeah. He's not used to competing back to back.
And I mean, lighting does have
True.
something to do with it. The way the whole sheen is off of the delts, but that's rough. And this was his last competition. So
True.
and they got noticeably worse in 2 weeks. So I would closely advise Hottie, whatever you are doing within the delts, don't do it again. And it makes your life that much easier. It really does. The
Yeah.
the,
Do you
the
do you
judges
think he
don't.
put something in his shoulders between those two contests? Because if he is doing that, to me, that's insane.
It's a little
Considering it's a point of discussion. Like you can see, obviously he shoots his glutes, so you can see the lumps there,
Yeah.
which everyone has, which is fine.
Sure.
I don't mark guys down necessarily unless they're like pine cones,
Right.
but in my mind anyway. But there's so many spots you can hit. There's the traps, there's the rear delts, there's the lats, and I understand why people don't want to hit certain body parts with their
Right.
shots, but you can see the delts there are obviously the medial delt is the most inflamed. I don't know why I'm pointing it on my screen, but you can
Yeah,
see
no,
there
no. You can see it's pretty clear.
Pointer stick.
yeah. So I don't know. It's just confusing to me.
So
I mean,
you're saying even if he did like a regular ejection here, it's pretty
it's
unheard
going to
of.
inflame more. It's not unheard of. It's a very common spot to hit for guys.
Well, yeah, but like
the,
for his position.
yeah,
Position,
like
yeah.
it just
Where it
seems
can cost
weird
him.
that you would shoot there. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm actually impressed how guys are able to disguise it so much. And like guys like Phil Heath back in the day, you never saw any sort of lump from shots or anything like that I noticed on his physique big time.
Simple
And that's
artists.
impressive. Yeah.
Simple
And,
artists.
and yeah, and they rotate sights and they do it all the right way. But sometimes it can just be the amounts too. Like,
Now,
you know,
what
it's like you
about
run out of spots to put it.
Derek's lats?
Lats.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So I remember after the Olympia, I heard
That was a
nothing
big thing.
but it was,
That was a big
huge.
thing.
Everybody was talking about it.
Is it actually something? Mark, do you think it's okay? The argument is it's around the armpits, sweat mixed with the tan and the oil. It kind of, sits there. It looks weird on the lighting. Or is it actually something substantial? Mark, what do you think?
I wouldn't call myself an expert on that.
You
I
need your pointer stick.
You do need a pointer stick, just like
Yeah,
that.
you got to get in there and feel it.
See, if it's hard, like your chest, it clicks. But if you poke on your stomach, it doesn't click because it's soft. And I
Right.
think
Gives.
the synthol would do that. It's like if you push it in and it doesn't click, something in there.
I'm a little
No,
less
I don't
convinced
know.
on
I can't comment
Derek's.
on it because I don't know.
My opinion is
Does
that I think that he would have shot there if it's shots. So I don't know what it is because even pros, like I just discussed this with pros off air as well. Some of them think it was potentially shots in there, and some of them are like, I have no idea. Is it some sort of information thing? Because it's just not a common spot to shoot. Like for
Hopping
starters,
out
like
right
it's
there.
front
Look
of the
at that.
lat by the armpit?
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine someone. Boom. I suppose I suppose you can, but and I know people have done it in their lats and stuff. It's just that front part of a lat. But I suppose he has so much muscle there, you can sort of just pick wherever. But at the same time, I don't think it's like a synthol thing. It would be just where a spot to hide where your shots go because you can see the top of his glutes. He has
Yeah,
that
that's
bit of a
noticeable.
ridge at the top,
Yeah.
which is a little bit, but that's fine. But I'm sure he's like, yeah, I don't want any more than that there. So
For
avoid
sure.
that upper glute area. So where am I going to shoot? I can shoot my
No.
lats, but that's sort of a strong point. You don't want to sort of risk the lat tear and stuff, which I've heard can happen from that. You got the shoulders, but his shoulders are an area where he definitely gets sort of marked down for not being as hard. So when you shoot that area more,
yeah, you'd see
yeah,
it.
it's just going to blur the details. So you see a lot of
No,
top
Dylan,
IFBB
You should probably
open
just do an
pros.
Can you go
oral only
back up there
cycle.
for a second, Dylan?
What's
Can you
that?
go back? Can you go back up for a second?
To this one?
No, right above that. The 20. No, keep going up. Where did I see it? Right there, 2020. Go see what does the lats look like there. Oh, it's not a
Oh,
picture. It's not a
darn
picture.
it. Oh. Here we go.
Is there a little lump there? Like, you know what I
They
mean?
do look,
Oh, man. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Could just be a natural sort of
I mean,
blurry shot. I don't know.
they're huge. You
Hmm.
gotta look at old pictures of guys from like the 60s and stuff. Certain bicep peaks look like definitely something was in there, but
Yeah.
obviously there wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually wonder if it's just a genetic thing and he's got bigger, and as you get bigger, your muscle sort of just goes.
And
It's only got so many
Flex
places to
Wheeler,
go.
Flex
you know?
Wheeler from like early 90s, Flex Wheeler, when we knew there was nothing like that around. He looked
Yeah.
like he was loaded,
Yeah.
but he wasn't.
Yeah.
Because Derek's back already looks so unnatural just because it is like superhuman, like it's already like
Yeah.
it's almost not even resembling a back anymore because it's so wide and like I've never seen a back quite like his. Not that that's a bad thing whatsoever, but maybe that explains it. But I
It's
I
just
don't know.
not gonna do you any favors anywhere else in life
Mm.
but bodybuilding.
Let's go to the,
Just one thing, a big
Right.
misconception about about I suppose when people see that shot there, they go, "Oh, he's got synthol on his lats."
yeah.
Guys, most of the time, like if they're using a synthol, what it is, it's something that dissipates over time. So if someone's using synthol in their arms, which is
Right.
something that gets used and it's not
Sure.
that noticeable because guys are shooting it deep inside the muscle and then it's sort of meant to push everything out. So it's not something where guys are shooting it, it just goes all smooth there and that's it. That's not really how it works. So there's that, which I don't think that guys are really using in anything apart from their arms, really. Guys have maybe tried it in their calves. maybe like using your shoulders would just be a weird move. But I think
Yeah,
most of the time it's just guys just shooting their gear somewhere. Like,
it
where are you
is.
putting it?
Yeah, I would say so.
Like, top your
You get scar
glutes,
tissue
your
and stuff.
shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah. And guys, chest even like a small amount with
Yes.
a different pin, their traps, their rear delts, their lats, there's only so many spots. So if you're starting to get inflammation in a couple
The
of them,
cock.
yeah, sometimes I put it,
Ravishing recruit. Ravishing recruit. That's how they say he died.
really.
It's not even a muscle. It's an organ. Is that different?
I don't know. Imagine if your muscles could flex like that, though.
Boom,
Yeah,
boom,
yeah.
boom.
Imagine if that happened. Anyway, let's get to Xavier's winner of this of the Olympia, according to him, who he is predicting to win. Okay, let me ask you again. Let me ask you because you said if I had to place my life on it, I'd actually put Hadi over Samson. If your money, your life, your house was on the line, would you still say? Would you still predict Andrew would win
No, I'd
or
say
somebody
Derek
else?
because
Smart money's on
I'm
Derek,
not.
is what you're saying.
Yeah. So the truth comes out.
Yeah.
Well,
That
if
seems
my
like that
life
should
was
be
on the
your
line,
prediction.
no. So I think it's very, very close. So I think it's either Derek or Andrew. What Andrew is this from the
This is Texas.
24?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is from
Yeah.
this year's Texas Pro.
So
As soon as you see the
Unimpressive.
biceps, you can tell.
now, because I just think because Derek is the current Mr. Olympia,
Yeah.
I think he'll be better. You sort of go like that. But to mix it up, I'm like, it's close. I'm like, I'm going to pick Andrew because I think if I
mix
was
it
judging
up.
as well, I would pick Andrew. No, it's not just to mix it up. I think it's a massive possibility to happen. But if you're setting like betting
Streaks
odds,
off
right?
there.
Because I'm a statistical guy. So
Clearly
I'm
not.
not like, no, but well, yeah. But what I'm saying is if I just pick what the odds would be, you know what I mean? Like I'd just be
Right.
going off everyone else's picks, and I'm not just going to be like, oh, I'm smarter than everyone else, and I'm going to pick the guy that's the fourth favorite or third favorite to win. And, with my family's life on the line, 90% of people don't think he'll win or 95% of people, but, gun to my head, I'm still going to pick him. I'm going to go with the percentages, but I think only probably 10% of people maybe have Andrew winning, or maybe 5% of people have Andrew winning. But I think it should be like, 25% of people should have Andrew winning or something. So I'm like, I'm going to pick him.
If not for Samson, I think more people would have him.
Yeah.
So both tall, and they figure Samson usually beats him.
Yeah,
Okay.
true.
So you don't think he can win the Olympia is what you're saying?
Me, of course I do.
Hey?
I just think that. Who? Dylan?
You guys
Who?
frozen? You guys frozen?
No, I'm waiting for someone to say something because I didn't say
I
anything.
was saying something.
I thought you said so you don't think he can win to Xavier. You just got done saying he thinks he can win.
Oh, okay. I think we're all up to speed then. Okay. let me just explain my position here. Take a look at this backside conditioning. This whole backside is underdone. The real aspect's okay. Hamstrings need more. Glutes need sharper. Hamstrings need sharper as well. Rear double, the back is good. Some extra crispness would go such a long way. I don't think he is placing top 2. Maybe he can get top 3 with this particular package. He's not placing top 2 with that. Would you concur, Xavier?
If you put now, you're just putting out one shot. You can put to me Derek Lunsford's ab and thigh when he's crunched down and
Sucks.
say, you can
Who's
say to
winning?
me, he's not placing
winning?
top 2 with that. Now give me
Correct.
Andrew Jack's front double
Yeah, you
bicep and his
see,
ab
you
and
turn the
thigh.
side and things change. You see,
You're right. And I disagree that Derek is Mr. Olympia. So I see what you're saying. So I guess, maybe I agree with you more than I lead on. It's just like, I think you can be missing shots and still, like, it's not just missing shots. Like, you can completely
Look at that.
fall off in some of them and still do well. Would you agree? That seems to be what's happening now.
it's the conditioning.
But everyone's had sort of worse shots over time. You know what I mean? Like Ronnie Coleman didn't have a great side tricep. what did Jay Cutler not have a great one of? His back shots were behind Ronnie's for years.
Jay's rear double was. His side chest was never that great either.
Still, like I've not seen too many shots from Mr. Olympia worse than Derek's actual abs and thighs.
They're using that excuse, the vacuum.
Xavier, that's actually a point I've never asked you. Vacuum, is that okay in open? What do you think?
Well, they allow it. So this is the thing. This is why I think Derek won last year's Olympia. This is because it was so close for me. And they said, that's fine to hit the vacuum for the ab and thigh. Now, I still think Hardy wins because if you can crunch down and look like that, he wins that ab and thigh
still beating him.
Against Derek. Yeah. But the vacuum, if you say the vacuum is allowed, I mean, he looks pretty damn good in the vacuum. So I'm like, where does that rank? You can't almost judge. You can't judge it really against those two poses. But if you are going to judge it, I would say, okay, pretty good shot for Derek. Not as good as Hardy, but pretty damn good still. So he's not losing as many points to Hardy on the ab and thigh.
Yeah,
as
if it's a 3,
he would be if he had to crunch down.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you throw Samson in there, he's beating Samson on that.
So I will say Andrew is to me, I know this is very binary thinking, and maybe even slightly racist. So an alternative to Andrew to me is Samson Dowda. And to me, Samson is more well-rounded, more complete. Mark, would you say Andrew is a less complete version of Samson? I know they're very different still, but they're the most similar guys that could be actually compared to each other. You know, they're most like each other. Is Samson just a strict upgrade?
I honestly think the biggest difference is when they turn around the conditioning, the hamstrings.
Right.
Because if they had the exact same condition from behind glutes, I'd give it to Andrew. He's winning.
I would agree.
He's winning more poses. But Samson's winning the side shots, and I wouldn't even say Samson's beating him from behind. Just the condition. Just the condition.
I think that's fair.
Hey.
I think Andrew Jack's back is actually really good. It's just we're not seeing the full extent of it. I've said that for like a year now.
Gotta be peeled.
You've got to be peeled.
John Roden was peeled and he didn't have a back, and he won the Olympia.
So true.
He had a back, but not.
Let me ask you this. I've got this comparison coming up, Mark. Andrew or 2012 Sean Roden?
That was his first third place?
Yes.
Yeah. Versus Andrew Jacked?
Yes.
Andrew's going to be too much for him, I would think.
I would agree. Okay. Well, Sean, blasphemous. Xavier, off the top of your head, if you can remember, 2012 Sean Roden versus the recent version of Andrew Jacked, who would you have with it? Who would you have there?
Oh, there's a dog barking. I would have, the recent version of Andrew Jacked. I love Sean, though. I love his physique. And when he burst into the Olympia and placed third, he was like my favorite. You know what I mean? So I wanted to preface it with that.
He almost placed the dead last 2011.
Yeah. Okay. let me give you an updated scenario. Andrew Jacked versus Sean Roden. Xavier, we can start with you. Sean Roden in 2018. Is it close, and who's winning?
I think based off the Texas Pro, I think Sean Roden.
Okay.
Yeah. Based off what Andrew's bringing, though, maybe potentially.
Based on what I've cooked up in my mind, based on what I think he's going to, what I had my wet dream about last night, I think he's going to look even better than Sean Roden. Okay.
Precisely.
Mark, how close is it? Sean Roden 2018, Andrew Jack, Texas Pro 2024.
There's guys with that type of conditioning right now, of Sean Roden.
Yeah.
And that's why Andrew can't beat them, because of the condition. So throw in the aesthetics too. I just don't think he can beat him.
Is it close?
It would be close if the conditioning were close. I'd give it to Jacked.
So I would say that's close then. If the only thing is missing is conditioning.
But that's a big thing.
Okay. I still
And
think he gets him in.
if he had achieved it at one point in time, I'd say, okay, well, he can get conditioned. He can get super peeled.
You guys know I'm not a very big Andrew Jack fan. And I am a big Sean Roden fan. He has my favorite physique. It is closer than most people would admit it. I would say it may be even like a 4-4 split on the poses, and Sean would still probably win because of the better conditioning and whatnot. So I think when I examine this, I think my predictions, Mark and I's predictions, are so same and they're so normy. Oh no. Oh no. What do we have here? He's patching in.
Some.
He literally heard Andrew jacked and he's like, "Sorry, honey. We can't sleep in the same bed tonight. I have to go I have to go talk to Dylan about Andrew jacked."
Was he listening live? I reckon he's listening live and he's just like, Andrew Jack. He's like,
He's like, I can't stand for
hold
this.
on. We have an emergency. I think it's like, his wife thinks it's an emergency dive or something, and it's just
You heard
Here he is.
Andrew and you came crawling, didn't you?
Emergency disagreement.
No, I did not. But whatever Dylan just said, he's definitely wrong.
Okay, well, let me recap. I said Sean Roden 2012 versus Andrew Jack 2024. We all had that early version of Sean losing to Andrew. That's an early version of Sean, though. 2018 Olympia winning Sean Roden versus Andrew Jack. Who do you have winning, and is it close, Kinson?
I have Sean winning, but it's close.
Thank you. And this is a thought experiment for me. I said, what has everyone seen in Andrew Jack? My buddy Kinson, who I admire so much, he's saying he's going to win the Olympia. And I said, okay, well, let's take a look. And then I was like, wow, pretty close to my favorite physique of all time, Sean Roden. Not that particular version, but my favorite physique was owned by Sean Roden. So it is closer than I expected. But I got off on a tangent here. I'm asking Xavier. Andrew Jack is so close to Samson Dauda. They're the most two similar things to each other that we have. Why not Samson over Andrew?
Well, I think either can happen. You know what I mean? It's going to depend on what Samson. Like, obviously, my final predictions are going to be after this weekend because how Samson looks is going to partially dictate how we're going to predict it. So
the truth comes out, doesn't it, Mark?
Things.
We got to nail
of course.
The plot.
Xavier needs to be like nailed down to get his. He's like a weasel slipping through all my.
I'm giving my top five already.
Oh, we've heard your top five, and I've asked you about every single one of them. You're like, actually, if my life depended on it, I could maybe go the other way.
Well, yeah. Well, if your life depended on it, maybe you could go the other way.
Actually, no, I don't. This is what I predict.
Dylan does not. No, when Dylan puts his predictions down, they're down. That's it.
They're not final, but they're what I think is statistically most likely to happen. Okay, so Kinson.
Yeah, but that's what I normally do. It's so boring. It's so sometimes you just got to put it out there and just say Andrew Jack's going to win.
Hey,
have me, world.
I love it. I do. I wish.
If it happens,
I wish I had the balls to say that, but I don't.
2020.
Say what?
I just don't.
2020 Olympia. Nobody predicted
to say that Andrew
Grammy.
would win the Olympia this year. I would love to see Andrew win the Olympia this year. I would love that, but I just don't think he's going to be given that yet. Bodybuilding is close to accepting Andrew Jack's physique as the standard, but I don't think it's this year. Third, yes. First, man, if he takes second, still, I'll be over the moon.
It's so weird because I see a lot of guys with their like wild card picks. They'll play some third or first, hardly ever second. You know what I mean?
Funny, isn't it?
Yep, you're right.
I think sometimes because
that's true though. Look at Big Grammy in 2020. Hate to bring that up again, but he wasn't placing second. If he wasn't going to win it, he would have placed like fifth.
Correct. That was the consensus at the time.
Okay.
But the funny thing is, like Derek Lunsford, it'd be very rare for him to place like third or fourth, I feel like, because when the Olympia champ gets knocked off, it's either because they're like off, and they slip to like a fifth
Oh,
or
yeah.
something, or lower, or fourth or something, and it's just, or they're just second. You know what I mean? They just miss it, and they give him second because it's, you know, they're the Olympia champ. You know, so
Except
it's
for
weird.
Dexter.
Did he
Except
slip?
for-
He slipped to third,
except
didn't
for
he? He did
Dexter.
slip to third. Yeah, that's actually a
Which
good
was
point.
weird. Which was weird.
Yeah.
Well,
He looked better than the year before.
Do you think that was
True.
Dexter's best and Branch's best ever,
yes.
Yeah.
and
yes
maybe
to both.
Jay's?
Jake
Jay's
is
would be debatable. Jay's is always going to be debatable.
he had to
Yeah.
be there for 01. The footage nowadays sucks, so you
He was
can't.
so much more complete though in 01.
The back is so underrated in 09. Look, I compared it to Hottie's back, for example.
Yeah.
It doesn't even compare. Oh,
But who would have won on stage? As nice as his physique was in 01, I just think that 09 one, I think it was too granite, maybe, like, and just too mature. And if they were side by side,
Yeah, from behind, you're right.
I'm gonna keep an open mind. Let's see it.
I
Let's see
don't
it.
know.
Okay.
I don't know.
okay.
Not as pretty,
the
but
lats,
dense.
the lats are receding. Hottie's not Mr. Lat insertions. He's not like, yeah, his lats are like slightly better. He's harder in the region. That upper back thickness, it's not even close. It is not even close.
Also, you got Jay smaller, I'd say, out of the two here, because look at the size of Jay's head and the size of Hardy's head.
I
Jay
made
has a
Jay
big
too
head
small.
too,
I would agree. I would make
Yeah.
yeah. We can fix that.
because Hardy has I think Jay has a bigger head than Hardy. And Hardy looks like he's got a
Hottie kind of has a
massive
big head.
He does, doesn't he?
But
A
even
big
then, okay,
head.
but even
His
then, Hottie is maybe bigger than he should be. And he's still
Yeah.
getting whooped. In the back at least.
It's so
And
hard. It's different
Look at the
lighting.
red
I'm
light.
sure if
Go to the rear
I'm sure if
lap.
Hardy was in that lighting.
Rear lat, I had
No,
Hottie
no,
winning.
wait 1 second. Go
Sorry,
back
sorry,
to the
sorry,
front double.
Front
Okay.
double.
No,
Rear double.
Okay.
Or did you say
Look,
front
Jay's
double?
lower body. Yeah, Jay's lower body is more impressive than Hottie's here. He has more detail in the hamstrings, and I think that he's a little bit tighter overall through the legs. The back is interesting because in the middle back, it looks like Jay is extremely like he has that depth, you know, like you could fucking stick a fucking pencil in there and it would stick. Hottie doesn't necessarily have that much depth, and Jay really does look more 3D, man. You know,
Yeah.
I would.
I'd say
I think
both
he's
guys
got bigger
have
arms too.
What's that?
I'd say
Kenzie?
both guys have a lot of guys have a lot of depth to both their backs. But yeah, Jay's is just like mind.
it's
It's
just next
crazy,
level.
man. It's crazy. It's not the balance. I would say, you know, when the lat insertions probably goes to Hottie. Maybe that's just the way
Sure.
that Jay's flexing. But even the arms, I think Jay's got better arms than Hottie in this shot.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
just some food for thought there. I just had to prove a point. Anyway.
I enjoy that.
I was gonna say stand back for 1 second. There's one thing about Hardy's back double that I've
It's
just
big.
sort of noticed. Well, it's the triceps off the elbow, and this normally happens with guys that are older.
It's the
They start
pointy
to
elbows.
recede.
Yeah.
They start to
Chris
recede, and
Dickerson.
you get more of that pointy elbow. And
The Chris
his
Dickerson disease.
Exactly.
yeah, and his triceps look like they're progressively receding a little bit more on the side tri and the back
He
double.
he
I
already
just-
had short
I just have a
insertions
Yeah.
too.
feeling, no one talks about it too much, but I just have a feeling that at some point that's going to be one of the downfalls of his physique as he
The
ages.
same things are there are small movement happening in his biceps as well. If you're really close, if you take fullness out of the equation, the biceps are kind of they just creep up just a little
For
bit.
Hattie.
The muscle bellies are just getting a little, they're just
Mhm,
getting a little shorter.
Dorian
Little
Yates.
And I think overall that just eventually throws off the aesthetics. So I think that's
Oh.
where Hardy's going to have a bit of a downfall, and it's not going to be like bang all of a sudden, because we saw it with Big Ramy. You look at Big Ramy when he burst onto the scene at the New York Pro on his first Olympia, he
Mhm.
was clean as looking. You look at him now, there's just little things everywhere, and you go, there's no way you look at those two physiques and go, he's just as aesthetic, not even in the
For
same
sure.
stratosphere.
Big
really.
Ramy's
No,
overrated.
certainly not.
He's been beaten up,
So-
shattered.
Yeah, and I think this
Yeah.
will progressively happen to everyone. So it's not like it's like I'm picking on Hardy, but I think with Hardy, it will eventually. It might white dudes in general. I mean, I don't know if is Hardy. I don't know what. Let's not
Middle
get into
Eastern.
race, but
No, he's
Iranian.
yeah.
non-Africans, let's say,
Persian.
tend to age a little bit quicker physique wise. Maybe not
Ooh.
Brazilians. South Americans have something else. I don't
What
know.
about
It
black
depends.
don't crack?
Is there any old Brazilian bodybuilders
Yeah.
though to prove it?
Exactly. They're relatively new
Eduardo
country in
Correa
this.
got torn up a bit, but I feel like Brazilians vary so
No,
much
well,
because you got darker
Who,
Brazilians.
Eduardo
lighter Brazilians.
Corelli? Is that who you said? Or
He
Eduardo
did get beat up.
Eduardo Correa.
Correa.
Eduardo
Yeah,
Correa got
he
beat
was
up.
the first. He was the first Brazilian bodybuilder that really made it big. A lot of people forget
Yeah,
about
he was
that
awesome.
guy. 212.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
Let's,
was so close to Flex Lewis the year I went to the Olympia. Like I remember the Brazilian
Yeah.
fans in the
2019
expo and
or,
prejudging.
17.
17, yeah, because I was in the expo, and man, those Brazilian fans, they're literally like jumping like soccer fans, like, oh, no, and I'm like,
Gross.
whoa, and everyone's just looking at the fans going nuts, and it was just that top 2 call out. It was, yeah, it's pretty epic.
Okay. I have Xavier. I don't know if you've answered this, but then we're moving to Kenson next to get his full top 5 because he joined in late. Xavier, what is different, and why are you picking Andrew? Why do you have Andrew higher than Samson when they're so similar? What do you see that's different? Because to me, it boils down to Andrew has more wow factor. Samson is more complete. Do you agree with that, or are you seeing something different?
Yeah, I think Samson is probably overall more complete. I think Andrew just has a certain level of insanity to his physique, like how the waist goes in like that, being 300 pounds on stage. That is like, but then Samson, if Samson nails it with the waist, and I think his waist is going to be smaller. So there's a lot I think that could be going for Samson, and a lot of things that could be fixed. Not that he needs fixing, but I suppose just overall improved to make this physique. Because you look at those shots. This is the UK, right?
Correct.
Looks like it, yeah.
It is.
You can see his waist is tighter, the conditioning is better. Is it the perfect Samson? I don't think quite, but it's pretty damn good. That UK version, I think, goes pretty underrated, to be honest. So I think this is probably Samson's best ever.
I would say so.
And I think we're going to see better than that. No, there's not. There's not.
And that's why we don't get to look at it.
Yep. Okay. So, Kinson, your top 5 as of right now, give it to me straight, hot, and hard.
Adi, Derek, Andrew, Samson, Nick.
Okay. Yeah.
Eric, Andrew,
okay. Same question to you then, Kinson, because I'm noticing this as well. Samson over Andrew, Andrew over Samson. To me, same question to you. I see Samson as more complete. Andrew has more wow factor. Why are you picking Andrew over Samson?
I'd probably consider Andrew more complete if I really wanted to, I could go that far, I think, especially with the improvements. And that's actually probably the second point is the improvements that Andrew made from last time we saw him on stage compared to Samson's. I mean, improvements do matter, and I think that Andrew's just made more improvements as well. I think that his conditioning is probably going to be superior to Samson's again. And I think that'll give him an edge as well, which is why I have him just above Samson. And he just wins more shots. Put the shots out there again. I mean, we can go for
I don't think I have that one set yet. I will for my final predictions. We'll go through them probably, and I'll make that video as well.
It's kind of an easy one when it comes to Samson. He takes him in the back shots. He takes him in the front double. He takes him, the front lat definitely. I would say absent thigh definitely. He just takes more shots.
You're saying Andrew wins the front double over Samson?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Rear double.
I'd give Samson both back shots because of the condition.
I would as well.
But only because of the condition.
Okay. Let's do a little thought experiment here.
We'll see the comparison.
Yes. No, let me just make one point here.
That's just it. We'll see them when they're side by side.
Oh, we'll see it. We'll see it in Vegas, Kenson.
Yes.
We certainly will.
And I can't wait. Well, I can and I will. But you know what I'm saying?
I do know. Okay. Let me get a feel. Kinson, get Mark's poker stick, right? And look at the side leg. Look at the detail. Give me a second here. Give me a second on my point. Look at the lines. Look at this is the most important part here. The hamstrings, glutes. I'll concede you on that one. But let's take a look at the hamstrings.
They're clicking on both. They're hard. They're clicking on both.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, Mark and Kinson. We're gonna
the
take
one
a look
thing
at...
on Samson's back double is I wish there's more separation between the glute and the hamstring. It's like they just
Yeah.
Sure.
the glute goes into the hamstring a little bit. But
Okay.
if it's all hard, then I don't mind.
Yeah, if it's all hard, it's good enough for rock and roll.
yeah,
Okay, I would agree with you that Andrew is probably he is just as separated as someone like Derek or Hottie from the front. From the front, he has no issues, no issues whatsoever. The quads are there. He has feathering in the quads. The abs are all of it from the front is Olympia, like Olympia, Mr. Olympia level. Okay,
Over Sampson.
okay. Now
Yeah.
side leg,
Yeah, that's it.
side leg. That's odd. We don't see the lines there anymore. Let's where do they go? Hold on. Let's hope.
I mean,
Let's get something
he's
back.
not without lines.
Huh,
You
it's
know,
not
he's not
clicking.
without lines.
Yeah, it's not. What is that, Mark? What is that, Mark?
When I tried to touch the glutes, it was going in. Like,
Oh,
I'll touch my
right.
chest,
These
clicks. Now
hams and
my stomach when I'm sitting down, no click. No click.
that conditioning does not beat Samson's. It could. Maybe Andrew gets better, but as of right
Do
now,
you
it's
th-
not.
The
Do you think if
hamstring.
Samson, that same version of Samson, was on this stage, do you think he would look way, way harder? Like in this lighting?
Was the Arnold UK lighting that bad? Yeah,
I don't think it was that
maybe.
bad. I think
Maybe
they were
it
kind of
was
similar. They were
that
actually kind of
good.
bluish lightings.
No, what I'm saying is that I think that
Like the difference between them two?
well, this is not done by Gilco, this video, I don't believe.
Correct.
And if you look at the videos of Nate Epler and Jordan Hutchinson, who were both shredded from everything that I saw,
Oh yeah, they look good.
I think they look good in this video, and they did look both probably harder than Andrew, maybe, but that
Yeah,
front double
I would say
bicep,
that's
Sure,
that
sure.
that does maybe not look as hard. That maybe looks harder or as hard as Nate Epler. And Nate Epler to me was pretty shredded, but I just don't
Yes.
think any of those guys looked quite as hard on the Texas Pro stage as they really were in these videos. So that's why I'm like, I think Andrew was actually, because when I saw iPhone photos and stuff and iPhone videos from this show, I thought that all the guys looked harder. Even though this is great video and everything, and we can see what's happening, I just think if you were there, because everyone that was there in person says like, yeah, it was a different story being there. Like Andrew Jacked was like, whoa. And that's the same sort of talk that I heard when Hardy did the Vancouver before he burst onto the scene like big time, And I just feel like I'm getting the same vibes, man. I'm getting the same vibes.
I'm getting the same vibes. He makes
the way
me feel
Aceto's talking,
Okay.
the way he's talking. He's just
Kinson,
Aceto's like,
What do you mean, monotone?
no, he's just very serious when it comes to Andrew Jack doing the Olympia, like all of a sudden. And he only ever does that when guys are like locked in. And he's like, yeah, we're going there early. He's like, we're here to win an Olympia. Like, and he's just very serious. And
I don't mean any disrespect.
No, it seems
by
like
this,
he's looking.
But what was he saying? Because I don't remember legitimately. What was he saying before 2018 with Sean Roden? What was the rhetoric then?
See, I can't remember, but I think he was pretty positive.
He always maintained that Sean could win the Olympia. He always maintained that.
Yeah, I thought he was behind him there that year.
Okay.
He would tell the stories about how Sean Roden would, like, when he broke his jaw, he was drinking all his food in order to get prep in. He would drive 2 hours. I think it was 2 hours. Don't quote me on that, but quite a distance one way just to train at the right gym with the right people. This is what he did.
Yep.
And yeah,
he was sick. Was he not before that Olympia? Did he get sick?
Not before 2018 or before 2018.
Yeah, he did. That's why his skin got thinner.
Oh,
yes. I'm
think
serious.
I know that he was
dehydrated.
He dropped out of the Arnold.
Yeah. He was sick the year prior, I think, at the Olympia as well. I think it was, or he had some issue the year before.
That year.
Yeah, or maybe it's because of a broken jaw and he couldn't eat, and then he just had some gut issues. I think he had ulcers. He had stomach ulcers.
Yeah. Well,
he did.
So yeah,
all right.
Stressed him out.
He's just got way better shape, man. Like he's going to be above Samson. He's way better shape.
Oh, well, Mark, you can
way better.
Mark, you can have the last word on this. Andrew versus Samson. Who is? Well, you have Samson placing higher.
Right.
Why is that?
Just because they're very similar, and when it comes to the Olympia, when they're picking the lineups, they're walking out. They're not going through all the poses. They're trying to figure out who's conditioned enough to be in these first call-outs. And the back's going to be a lot, and I just think that he's going to be in a separate call-out.
Well, I would retort, Andrew sticks out like a a sore thumb in a good way in a lineup. Front relaxed
Andrew
is
Jack?
killer. Oh,
No,
I meant
not when
Andrew.
they turn around. Not when they turn around.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
He's going
Anyway,
against see Derek Lunsford there with these glutes that look like they hurt. And then you see
Yeah.
Jack there. It's like,
takes up a lot of space on stage.
from the front, yes, he's going to dominate.
Okay. Yeah, but everyone will be harder from the back. Okay. All right. Anyway, let's move on to.
I agree with the height thing. Think about how tall Andrew Jack is compared to Derek.
Yeah.
6'2" versus 5'5", 5'6".
At least he'll look good holding that trophy up. Jack wins it. Instead of like Derek.
So hot.
Trying to hold that trophy bigger than him.
Okay.
Are you looking
Anyway,
for something in particular here, Dylan?
I'm looking for New York. Ooh, you're right. I don't know if New York Pro footage is on his thing. It's very odd. He didn't post that much about New York. It's almost like, no, that's not footage. And they're like some edits, but I wanted just the straight Gilco footage. And I don't think, this is an edit. No, this is an edit. Okay. Interesting how that works, by the way. I don't
How
think
big he is compared to that little guy. Who
Maybe
was
he
that little
pinned it to the
guy?
top.
Which one?
Guy
Sorry.
on New York Pro. Some little guy who was beside.
Excuse me?
He ever looks small beside him. Very minute. Interesting.
Which one
Yeah,
here?
well, I saw that photo. Where did it go? I saw it
Right
too.
there.
Oh,
Is that it?
man,
Oh, that's
yeah,
Martin.
I can tell you.
Yeah,
I can tell you something
I
that's
didn't know
bigger
Martin
on
was
Nick.
that small.
big old triple bubble, double, triple bubble, double gut.
That's just a couple of Snickers bars, I guarantee it.
Oh no, that's a couple of Big Macs or two. That's okay. Let us
To be
actually.
able to get actual
right
muscle
there.
that you can see.
Who do you think is going to get better from the New York Pro to the Olympia? Do you think Nick Walker or Martin Fitzwater is going to get better?
Both are going to be very improved.
Nick Walker.
Who's going to
Man,
get better though?
Nick
I
Walker.
really want to put Nick higher than fifth. I really do. But you just, man, he might show up crazy. We have no idea.
He
We have no
sticks
idea.
out just as much as Andrew does is the problem, but for entirely different reasons.
Man, see, I don't know what my predictions are going to be yet, man. Like, you really got to go through things until you really nail it down.
Well,
Nerves
I want to
are
go
getting
to
Martin.
Xavier first because someone didn't make their appearance on his top five. Nick was outside of Xavier's top five. Xavier,
Don't
why
point
is
it
that?
out like this. I have Nick in sixth. Well, I think that Martin. I have Martin in fifth because I think Martin is on such a improve. You know, like he looked awesome.
He has more room to improve.
I thought he should have won New York personally.
Okay.
Okay,
bro.
Close, but I had him winning New York. I just think that like when you look at Nick and you see him hitting that most muscular and everything, and while he is hard, are you seeing, many lines deep through his chest? You're seeing many lines through his shoulders. His midsection's obviously much wider than Martin's. I think Nick's quads aren't as round as Martin's. And I'm like, at a certain point, the prettiness, I think Martin with enough muscle, I think it plays in. But like that front double bicep is crazy. Side chest, don't get me wrong. He's huge and he's winning certain shots.
Fucking nuts,
but he's got some freakiness and I understand it. My preference on bodybuilding is generally aesthetic side leaning, but I always do go,
I can tell.
Okay, I get why branch one shows, I get why this person won this and all that sort of stuff. But if I was judging and they come in, if Martin comes in how I think he's going to come in and Nick comes in how I think he's going to come in, I would have Martin over Nick.
All right. Well, I would have the same
in New York.
Follow-up question, then we'll go to somebody else. Nick and Andrew, who has a better chance to win the Olympia?
Andrew.
Okay. How much better? Like, we're talking like they're both like, it's like 12 and a half, 15, like what?
I think Nick this year, you got to be realistic on, because just say I'm picking 5 guys ahead of him, you know what I mean, in the lineup. Mm-hmm. So just say they all have an equal opportunity to win. That's 20% each, but then I'm giving percentage to the guy in 6th. So realistically, I'd say Nick has like a 4% chance of winning the Olympia this year, maybe 3. That sounds really harsh, but if I actually want to do a video where I break down the percentage chance I have for each competitor to win the Olympia,
I'd like to see that video. Actually, I'd like to see that. Okay,
I'm sure.
Okay,
I'm sure.
Let's move on. We're going to Nick Walker's #1 fan who predicted him to win in 2022. Mark, you have him in third. Why does he do better than the aesthetic guys?
Condition, muscle. He looks more like the top two.
That's actually a point I was going to get to. He sticks out in a way that he is probably the most muscular guy up there, pound for pound. But he is still more in the mold of them. But I go back to this point all the time. He beat Samson on poses, conditioning, muscularity at the Arnold. Why does Nick beat Samson here, but he didn't at the Arnold?
Because Arnold himself was on the mic and they asked him who he thinks should win, and he said Samson Dauda. So they wanted to please him. Because the year before that, he wouldn't go, or the 2 years before that, he wouldn't talk to Nick. He gave him the trophy and just walked off. I don't want a guy like that with a big bottle stomach winning my contest ever again. And
yeah, you're right. Ian Valier should have won.
Well, no, but he still didn't talk. He always talks to the guys after. He gave him the trophy and walked away.
Two alphas.
Yeah, it was 1 year I didn't. Yeah.
And Nick even said he wanted to talk to Arnold. You know,
I felt bad for Nick, to be honest, with that one.
I did too.
Damn, I didn't realize this. This is the first time this is coming to my attention.
And
so
he was on the mic and he was saying Samson should win it.
Okay. So you just think once he's given more of a fair shake, the mass and conditioning pulls him ahead?
I honestly don't know why they give him second at the Arnold.
You flat out disagree, or what are you saying there?
Well, I can't flat out disagree. I wasn't there, but going by pictures, I would have given it to Nick.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. It was very jarring, to say the least. Okay. Kinson, you have Nick the opposite. You have him behind everyone, including those two very aesthetic guys. What would you disagree with Mark on here? Like, why is that your prerogative versus him in front of the aesthetic guys because he's more like the other two?
Although Nick is probably going to have superior conditioning, I don't think it's going to be that much better than what I think Samson is bringing this time and what I think Andrew is bringing this time as well. Nick's conditioning always set him apart in previous years, to a larger degree, I feel, than what we're seeing from show to show improvements in conditioning from Samson and from Andrew. So, although I do think that he'll be awarded for his conditioning, I think that Samson and Andrew don't necessarily have to be more conditioned than Nick because they're more aesthetic than Nick, and that is more of a margin.
I think that's
and
fair.
I also think that the judging is going to go that way as well. I want Nick to admit, like, I was with Mark in 2023, not officially in my predictions. I had Derek winning, which he did, but I wanted Nick to win, man. Well, I mean, and if Nick had did it, I mean, who knows, right? But I think that I would love to have Nick as high as third. And if I was judging, if it was me, man,
right.
I don't know. I'd have a hard time.
Andrew would be right here because I'd be sitting on his lap.
Andrew would win and Nick would be in second. No, I don't know. No, that's why I think it's going to go the way that it's going to go. And that's why I have Nick in fifth behind Andrew and Samson.
Ah. Wow. Well, okay. Okay. I think that kind of does it besides one person, and it's Hottie Chupin, right? It's Hottie versus the Derek dilemma. So in terms of all of us but one, even though Xavier had weird predictions, Derek beat Hottie in his predictions. And then Derek is placing ahead. Let me say that. Derek is placing ahead of Hottie in every one of our predictions except for Kinson. I think, actually, let me go to Xavier first. Who did you have winning the 2023 Olympia as it was happening?
As it was happening, Derek. As it was happening after prejudging. So when I was talking about it on my live, I said I have no idea. I think during finals, I was saying Derek, I believe. I would have Derek. Yeah, I was saying I'd have Derek.
Interesting.
But I was saying it was super close. Like, I was like... Yeah.
Okay.
So I had Derek winning based on the fact that I think he won the back shots. I think that he won the side shots close. Don't know. The front shot's very close again as well. Like I think the front double, I just liked, even though Derek's not as hard through the biceps and stuff, I just liked his. I just think the silhouette was so crazy, just so crazy.
Okay. Let's recap then. Let's just go down the line. Kinson, who did you have winning before, during, and after? Who did you have winning the 2023 Mr. Olympia?
I had Derek winning at the time. I did. Especially
Gotcha.
just the crazy back shots. It was just insane.
Oh man, they were crazy. How were Andrews though?
Insane.
How were Andrews' back shots?
They're better now.
Okay, he's improved.
Yeah, he has. There's no question. There's no question he's improved. But yeah, definitely Derek.
Okay, and has your opinion changed? As in,
Yeah.
strictly on strictly as on the 2023 Olympia, like that version of that version. You think Hottie should have won now?
After review, I think that
Yes.
I was more for Hottie winning than not. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to say.
Okay.
But it's crazy. That's the
I
thing.
wouldn't
Like
call
after
it a flat
review,
I
we're looking at
wouldn't
the
call it a
video and
straight up
stuff after.
robbery though. No, I wouldn't say it was a robbery. I just want to say that.
Okay.
But isn't it funny though? Like that we review it so long afterwards. Like the judges don't even have time to review it that much. So it's like it is so close to me. Like yeah, you can't. Well, after prejudging, everyone was like, "We have no idea how this is playing out." And I think it goes under the radar a bit how good Samson was moving through some of those poses, and people almost forget about him.
I
But
agree.
he was pretty well up there. Even Aceto said after prejudging, he
Someone
said-
had him in
said,
first.
I don't know.
Didn't Roden have or Roden? Sean Ray have him winning?
I had Hottie winning.
I think Sean Ray had Samson winning though, I think.
Sean Ray. I love Sean. You guys don't
Derek's
understand
side
me.
leg is crazy too, man.
True.
That's a crazy side leg.
Yeah.
He's eating them up in the side leg, yeah.
Eating him up, spitting
Yeah.
him out.
Let's get the pointer
Crazy.
stick out.
Yeah, let's get the pointer stick
Really
out
hope
here.
his legs are improved. If he brought them legs up,
Yeah.
man, he's gonna be tough to beat.
His hamstrings are
See, I
beating
think he
all-
wipes them. But then
Oh,
Samson's very good in the back double
man.
too. Is this prejudging?
This is
Yeah, it is.
prejudging.
Yeah.
prejudging, yeah. Finals had a different.
I think Hardy was better at finals, right?
Derek was.
No, Hattie was judging by the video or the picture comparison I just did. Hattie looked softer in the finals.
Maybe that's why I had Derek at finals more definitively.
Oh,
Derek
please. Mark, get your
Derek
pointer out
looked
here.
way
Get your
better.
pointer out.
Where
Did
do you want me to poke?
The obliques.
Derek doesn't snap at all on the obliques or the abs. I push as hard as I can.
Yeah, let's go to that shot there.
Nothing. Soft.
I think that shot looks good though.
It does.
overall.
Aside
Oh, it
from
does. The
midsection.
side leg saves his like just all day, man.
Ooh, and what do we have there?
Ah, he's winning in the abs. Look. Well, not anymore.
Mm,
Beating Samson.
Yikes.
Samson.
Oh,
Nah,
okay,
Hottie's
that's
winning.
true.
no,
Oh,
look
yeah.
at the crazy look at the crazy obliques on Hottie. Derek's got
Yeah,
zero.
Hardy dominates.
Derek, it's so
Oh,
weird.
yeah.
It's like he has abs and then like the softest midsection ever. It's so weird.
Wish
It's-
Samson
Yeah,
was
it is.
like this, though.
Samson's just a little soft and underdone all around in the midsection.
Just does not look good.
Yeah,
But the
out
vacuum,
of the vacuum,
my vacuum.
of course.
Kenson, how do you feel about a vacuum and open?
No, I'm not against it by
Never
any stretch. I think
mind.
for certain guys it works. Some guys it works. Charles
Should
Grisham.
you be allowed to do that solely for the abs and thighs?
Yes, but understand that it may cause certain scrutiny with certain judges. It is that one judge might like it and one might not.
Okay.
You know,
I'd
you
have
have to
that.
consider it's no different. To me, it's no different than picking a variation of the most muscular. Pick the one that works for you. And if the vacuum works and it's undeniably better than what the other is, then do it. But if it's not, leave it out.
That's where I feel they should do two most musculars.
Crab and hand clasped.
Either hands clasped, and then you could do a hands on hip variation, that type, and then a crab. Because you can't. It's hard to judge a crab with a hands clasped. And honestly, guys, ever since I've been in bodybuilding, a crab most muscular has always been important in bodybuilding. So I think it should be a mandatory to separate the guys that
What do you know?
can't do it. Well, not as much as Bob Ciccarello, obviously, but
That's so true.
been
That
watching
is so
bodybuilding
true.
for a little bit.
Okay,
But
so
it's an aspect of a physique that should be rewarded.
let
Guys
me
Grabs are so hard to make look good. That pose.
Oh yeah.
recap here. Kinson, final say in this. Who do you think should have won the Mr. Olympia in 2023?
Hottie by a little bit.
Okay. Mark, since you were gone, who same or
I would vote for Hattie, yeah, but I can see why they give it to Derek.
gotcha. Okay, and then
Yeah.
Xavier, you said Derek. Okay.
I'd have
Okay.
Derek by a tiny bit, yeah.
We're not going to talk about that. I had Hottie by a pretty comfortable margin. Anyway. Xavier
just wants Derek to go on a show.
But now we have one of the best, not just one of the best hotties we've ever seen, maybe the best. One of the best physiques of all time, I would say in the top 20, graced the stage at the 2024 Arnold Classic, mixing the dynamic of this up. I think a lot of hottie fans were dooming after the fact, but now we have here, again, 2023 Derek Lunsford. We have no idea what improvements he's made. We've got glimpses for sure. He'll be better. I would say that's a pretty safe bet to make. He's early on in his career. He'll be better. But let's just strictly talk. Let's go through this. You guys can chime in, and then we'll go through one by one. 2024 Arnold Classic Hottie versus 2023 Olympia Derek Lunsford. This is courtesy of Superset Man, by the way.
I was gonna say, Superset Man should be getting a
Superset Man, such a goat.
Yeah, he set up so many of these.
To me,
you can go on the channel and
yeah, he's got the database.
He does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
makes my videos go
really
by
good
so
stuff.
much easier.
Yeah, yeah. I
tell
give
with
it to
the
Hottie.
lighting. Yeah, I think Hardy.
Yeah,
his waist was so much smaller. Like so
Yes,
much
the
smaller.
quads got a little better too.
Yeah,
hard with the sizing. The videos moving on him.
Yeah.
Derek is so much shorter than like people realize, though. It's like,
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
Abs and a vacuum.
oh look, Hottie can do all the above.
Yes.
and pull it off.
I just
No crab from Derek.
Like that changes anything.
Yeah, brother Derek.
Please. Yeah, and then it's just gonna loop. Okay. So Kinson, let's pick up where we left off here. 2024 All Classic Hottie versus this version of Derek Lunsford. If these two versions showed up, who's winning the Olympia?
Yeah, Hottie's winning the Olympia if these two versions show up.
Got it.
He's just more impressive.
What can Derek do to beat this version of Hottie? What does he need?
Derek can bring up his quads from the front. He can have the striations that he needs in the chest and shoulders and show us a smidgen even of obliques in any of the shots.
That would certainly help.
Yeah, that will certainly help. He doesn't need the side leg is crazy. The hamstring detail is decent, but he could even have a little bit more there. And maybe generally a little bit more overall size. I mean, I feel like, going for his second Olympia here, just be a bit bigger, especially through the quads, like I said. But overall, I think as well, it won't hurt him. He certainly hasn't maxed out his frame by any extent, and it might help with those striations through the chest.
I see.
Yeah, I think that's where I see it.
All right. Xavier, same questions to you. Who, if these two versions exactly as they are appeared on stage, who would win? And well, I guess the first one needs to be answered first.
Hardy. Easy.
Okay.
That sounds rude. But his waist, look how small it is there. If you look at the Olympia, what he looked like, he wore a waist trainer 100%. There is no way that his waist got that much smaller without doing like vacuums and wearing a waist trainer. Because even on the side chest, look how small it's so cinched in. And then that's the difference. That's the difference between Hardy at the Olympia and Hardy at the Arnold. Plus, he was a bit crisper as well. So this is the best ever, easily the best ever version of Hardy, in my opinion.
What does Derek need to do to catch up?
Just the things that everyone talks about, like
and then how likely is that?
He's not going to get his chest and shoulders and everything inside out and his abs. Like, it's just not going to be like that. This is not his physique. His advantage is his crazy taper his insane back. His legs from the side are hard as well, and from the back very much. So he has certain advantages and he has certain disadvantages. The only thing that, like on that front double bicep, he needs to keep that waist just as tight as it is there. He can't afford to let that go with Hardy bringing his
Yeah,
waist
that's his
in
main.
that tight there.
That's his main selling point.
Yeah, so I think Hardy is inching closer in that way, as long as Hardy doesn't have regression in other parts of his physique. So Hardy can definitely beat him, I have no doubt. But I think Derek is more likely to improve.
I would say
had
so.
Derek done the Arnold and improved and maybe beat Hardy or just narrowly lost to him, we'd probably be, who knows what the conversation would be now.
Right. Okay. Mark, who would win between these two versions?
Well, I had the Olympia winning Hattie, so
yeah. Okay.
mathematics.
It's not a matter of what Derek needs to improve. I think it's very clear because we're screaming and shouting, and the Hottie fans certainly will let you know. How likely is it that this happens?
Well, like Kenson said, he just needs just a shtickle of obliques and abs. Doesn't need to have the same, just a shtickle.
Let's see here. This is
And how likely is that to happen?
this
We'll
is a
see
week
soon.
ago.
As soon as he
If
walks
it's-
out. If he's got a brand new 6-pack when he comes out of there, he's got it. He won.
So like Derek doesn't push really hard compounds. I don't know what you guys might think about that, but I feel like maybe Derek doesn't push the really hard compounds like some guys do.
Like the bench press and the deadlift.
I prefer dumbbell press.
I don't work the compounds that much either. I got to be honest.
And you're pretty impressive.
I reckon he would.
Yeah.
No, but really, I don't think that he does.
Down most muscular. We've all done that in the gym, sitting on the bench after your set. Get a little most muscular pose.
I keep my eyes closed in the gym. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's why. Oh, I don't like the way he's dressed.
still-
I don't like his suit, and he's wearing pajama pants. Blah 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 blah.
This is 2 weeks ago.
You guys are still talking about exercises, and I'm talking about a cycle. Like I
Yeah.
think that there's guys that are just doing more than him.
What do you guys think about this update? Are you seeing what you want to see?
I don't see
This looks
drastic improvements. I don't think it's drastic.
No.
Like compared
don't
to what
think
it
it's
was
so
last
hard
year.
to tell.
How long ago?
It's so hard to tell.
September 9th?
Well, it is because he's in the gym. He's pumped. Like it's 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whatever.
You're slick.
Like it looks like he trained chest to me. I can almost bet
yeah.
anything he trained chest.
Yeah, this is a chest day.
Yeah, chest day. Yeah. So you can
Full
tell.
cheat
Like,
workout, he says. Actually, he didn't say chest. It says a typo. Or maybe not. Full cheat workout. Maybe he's.
Hey, you just go around, you do some chest pumps, and you get some curls going.
Brother Derek, a cheat workout?
He would
Mark,
never.
what do you think that means? A cheat workout for
Like
Brother.
I said, you're just going in, you could do some chest pump with the cables, and not necessarily for growth. You get to do some curls and get your triceps going, and just for a good pump.
Is he cheating on anything else?
Before going to the club.
He doesn't go.
Right.
The only club he goes to is every Sunday, and it's here's the church, here's the steeple, open the door, and there's no people.
That's not a club. It's an open invitation. It's an open invitation, Mark.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Lower body. Derek has said this before. His lower body and backside, they get conditioned before anything else. It's just he has problems from the front, mainly in the upper body, but the quads are definitely not as shredded as the side leg or the back of the leg. Let's see here. Is this no?
And that's where Hattie has it too. Hattie's ripped from.
Derek hasn't shown any leg updates, has he?
No.
I haven't seen
There's that. Yeah, not the quads.
Yeah, not the quads.
Oh, there's
yeah.
That's kind of.
Kenson, do you train harder than Derek? Let's take a look. Hold on, because you told me you train pretty hard.
Do I train harder than Mr. Olympia? Come on, Dylan. No, certainly not.
Come on,
I don't have the time to.
What about Hassan Mustafa?
Look, I'm not saying that I couldn't.
Yes, he does.
I'm not saying that I couldn't show up and train with Derek as long as he would let me, take 4 or 5 plates off each side every time we would go to do an exercise.
I'd put on 4 or 5 more.
I'd keep up with his volume, like for sure. I'd keep up with going to failure like he does. Sure.
Oh,
Keep up with
let's
anybody
see
that way.
about that, Mr. Kinston Jardine.
Hey, Dylan, why
I
don't you
train with
follow
him.
Derek Lunsford?
I do.
He does.
do.
I go through the same thing.
Yeah, I have the same
Dylan,
thing too.
I do
Hey,
the
Don,
I
same.
have the same thing.
Andrew
No, you're
Jack.
just starting to start things. You're a weasel. You're a wet
That's the
rat.
second time you
I'm a
called him
piece
a
of shit.
weasel.
He's slippery.
That is.
He's like a hot dog when it comes out of the package. You're like, oh.
You know how
slip.
tough weasels are? Weasels are one of the toughest animals that there are.
Have you seen
I know,
Kinston in the
ask-
gym?
I'm gonna hear
Come on,
soon.
Dylan.
He's
Come
coming
on.
down to Viva New Brunswick, huh?
All right. Okay.
That's right.
So
I booked
What's
my
his
hotel
date about?
today. Yeah.
let's round this out. Oh, hold on. I got to relive the moment.
And the title of 2023 Olympia champions, to our winner,
Andrew Jack.
and new
Bro, Hottie's face. I'm not liking that. What do you think this is? You robbed my boy.
When he
Yeah,
raised
Heidi's
his
just
arm,
like-
his thing busted.
the same.
Sorry. But yeah, no, Hottie's face when he said it. He was utterly surprised.
Hottie was ready to knock that motherfucker
No,
out, man.
it's just you could see the life drain out of his face. I feel so bad for Hottie. I really do.
Hard to feel bad for somebody that's a Mr. Olympia.
No,
But I think once
feel bad.
you've won it, losing it would feel crap. Like I remember
Yeah.
talking to Brandon Curry
But
when
these
he
people have to realize
year
that
after he
they're
won
lucky
it.
to be in them spots.
Oh, of course. And I don't think anyone has more perspective on that than like Brandon Curry. But at the
Curry,
same time, like when I
Curry, yes,
message
he's
him,
a great loser. Had Jay
Yeah.
Cutler as well. Jay Cutler, great loser.
Jay, oh
Well,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
because he spent his
Yep.
career doing it.
He placed second to more people at
He
the
had more
Olympia than
practice
anybody.
losing than he did winning, right?
He lost. He placed. he
That's
placed
an
second to-
objective fact. That's not an insult. It's
No,
like,
it's true. He stood on that second place
and the
podium
thing
many
is,
a time.
you couldn't have
with
lost
more
to a
different
better
people
person.
too, though. He
Losing to
placed
Ronnie
second
Coleman is almost like
Yeah.
not even losing. You know, it's just like, well,
Hey, I
nobody's
just-
going to beat
Yeah,
him.
you're right. Yeah, you're right. It's like,
Placed
oh
second.
well, you know, if Ronnie Coleman wasn't here, then I'd be the best bodybuilder in the world for this many
So
years. running.
true. So true.
Well, the lineup might change if Coleman wasn't there.
yeah,
Uh,
I agree.
unfortunately for everyone, Coleman was there, and he's the greatest bodybuilder of all time.
Okay. So last little anyway, last little tangent here before we sign off. Oh wait. Let's in the predictions here. Mark, I have something for you. Whoa. What was that? This is better. Let me get it on the screen here. Hold on.
2022, Arnold.
That's what I have on here. Let me Ooh, I think there is footage of this. Let me get it actually, because we were, for everyone that doesn't know, we were having a debate. of
What year,
sorts.
Arnold?
2022.
2022.
Yes, he said. What did you say? What was your? No. 2022. Your claim was that Brandon is placing behind Bonac this year. What an
Yes.
insane claim that is.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Is there no footage of this? There certainly is. I remember.
Mark, I
Arnold
like how you
profit?
agreed.
What does that have to do with the price of tea in China, though?
Hold on. And then I was like, a better Bonac didn't even beat Brandon at the 2022 Arnold Classic.
Wait till you see little tiny Curry. Legs small as alders. Do you know what an alder is?
No.
Just a little thin tree. They don't even tell you
Oh,
what kind of tree it
okay.
is because it's so small.
Let's see
Dylan.
here. Yes.
Do you have the footage that you were so excited about 2 minutes ago?
No, I don't have the footage. But I have something just as good. Don't worry.
He was about to prove a point, and now the point will not be proven.
Well, Superset Man comes in clutch yet again. Let's ignore Nick Walker for now.
no, let's keep him in.
Okay. Look at this Bonac here. Let's just take a look at the front double. Everyone got it burnt into their minds, right?
Those
Okay.
little legs on Curry.
Excuse me? Did I hear something? Anyway, let's see.
Like
What
Jay
Mark?
Cutler said something.
Mark, his best version this year, Dubai.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solid.
Solid. Okay.
Look
Okay.
at that. Outstanding midsection. Huh?
Really?
What?
Smaller. Legs are down.
You can't
Legs are
do
less
that.
cut.
You got to put them side by each to see that midsection.
Please, please open your mind. Open your mind. Okay, Xavier, sitting there like a bump on a log, maybe a weasel in a hole.
Third time you called him a weasel.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, it's getting rough.
Bonac versus Bonac. Which Bonac is more Bonac?
Clearly.
Can you open up a different version of Bonac? Can you do Bonac front lat spread?
Yes, I think I
So the
can.
waist is more representative. You get to see
Sure.
more of what's happening. Oh yeah, it doesn't look bad, man. I will say.
Okay, let me just.
Little
just-
he's gonna get a bad picture here too because he's
let me see what the worst one is.
Where is he half into it?
I always go by when they're smiling. Give me a second.
one side is a little unsymmetrical. I'll tell you that.
I'm not arguing that his waist isn't smaller. It is. That's not the and is it really that much smaller? And also look at the legs.
Bonac was better then.
Yeah.
2022. Except the gyno.
Of
The gyno's
course.
better now.
Of course. Of course.
Wait, go back again. Go back. Yeah, okay.
And then also this lat over here.
I told you about the lat.
Yeah, you're right.
Like I said, that's the price of tea in China. That doesn't really. This isn't.
Okay.
the
Okay. Let's go
Bonac.
to Bonac. Let's go to a good shot. The side chest. I think, that's we've seen his worst. We can go to the best. Take a look here.
It drives me insane how they put up like 20 photos of one shot.
Yeah,
I know,
and
right?
then some
Sometimes
shots
you
will be
can't even get
entirely
one.
missing.
Yeah.
Look at that, huh? Huh?
There's just
Yeah,
not as
yeah,
much
What are you telling me here, Dylan?
side leg. The hamstring is gone.
The obliques thickness, not even close.
Bro, what are you even talking about? You're just
side
you're,
leg thickness.
you're arguing just
Man,
to
I
argue
think-
at this point.
That's
I think the
other two
side leg,
gentlemen
the
on
problem with the hamstring is the lighting here. I don't think the hamstring's gone. I just feel like the lighting really makes it disappear.
Let's
That's
look
the other
close.
two
No,
gentlemen on the
Uh,
panel,
it's
Dylan.
Pretty
Look at
shady
how much
down there,
better he
man.
is
Like,
here.
yeah, take a
No.
look. Like,
you are such
Yeah.
no. You're bullshitting, McKinson. You're
no,
bullshitting.
I don't think so.
Zoom
Okay,
in on
If
the
you put your
Arnold
finger,
one.
if you put your finger over the, that Arnold one's way bigger. It's way.
Yeah,
that is.
it
Look how much
is,
meat
yeah.
there is.
Even the quad
Yeah.
height is bigger. It used
Yeah,
to
the
hang a
quad
little bit
height,
more.
Legs are
yeah.
smaller. His legs
It's
are
not
smaller.
as bad as
he
it
was
looks
always-
in
he's
Dubai, though.
beaten-
From
He's
No,
afar,
it
Curry on the
is.
legs anyway. He's
It
beating
is, like-
Curry on the legs anyway. So
Okay.
he doesn't need
Yeah,
it.
you're right. Yeah,
Still
Yeah,
beating
you're right.
Curry in the legs.
And also,
Yeah.
the upper body held up pretty well, but side to side, it's clear that Bonac just has more umph to him in 2022. I think that's.
I don't know. Look at the fire pack.
Mm,
Look at the
I
fire
hate this
pack.
guy.
Now go to the other one.
know.
Go to the other. Look at the fire pack. Now go to the other picture. Boom.
No, the pecs.
yeah, Mark, you're right.
Boom.
No,
Yeah.
you guys are just lying.
Look
Like,
at
let me get a real
Gyno in the
opinion
close
here.
No.
pack.
Let me get a
Gyno in
real
the
opinion
close
here.
pack.
Xavier, chime in here.
I want to see a photo of this version of the Arnold next to that photo. Now, I'll say that Bonac might have been in a little bit better condition this year, but I just think the size difference. I
The
think
maturity,
the,
yeah.
the Arnold version would have won.
I would agree.
But against
Let's go to the back.
Curry,
That's an
though.
important thing because the back
Oh,
is
I'm just talking Bonac versus Bonac.
a claim I made was the back was kind of receding. It's just not as the lat. He did
Hey,
tear
wait,
the
look.
lat.
Don't look at the rear
Where
lat.
do the score? Wait, hold on. Where do the
Don't
scores
look
stand
at
as
it.
so far? Who's the what was better in the front double? Which version?
2022. The
Front
legs were
class.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and the front lat,
Yes. And the side chest was
and
bigger.
that was
His
yeah.
legs
So
were
that's 3
bigger.
for the Arnold.
Okay. Take a look at the lats here.
Okay.
The back also 2017 definitely would beat this back. But take a look at the
2017 Bonac.
2017 Bonac's back was hanging off of him.
That was the best Bonac there was, but
That's true.
that's nor here nor there.
Okay.
Look at the little ham. Look at Curry's legs there. Do you see that?
I agree. That's not the debate we're having yet. That's not the debate we're having yet. Okay.
Looks pretty good here, actually. His back, yeah. Oh, I'll admit, his back.
It's a little flatter. There's
Bonac
not.
is harder probably this year though.
Yeah.
That is.
Oh,
I would agree.
Look at the glutes.
It's the
They're
muscle maturity
etched.
kicking in.
Yeah.
He's kicking in.
Yeah,
He's
call
40.
it what you want. It's better.
But the back,
That-
a little worse. The lower
Isn't as
lats
big,
not
yeah.
as clean anymore, and they should be because he's harder.
Yeah, but his lats.
The
are
lighting
receding.
hurts a little bit with the shadow there on the
True.
back, I think.
But also, we know
yeah.
objectively he had a lat tear, and the
Yeah,
symmetry
yeah,
is
so
ruined.
back's not as impressive.
Okay.
But I think the cleanness and how the muscle, the skin is on the muscle on the legs is like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's awesome in 2022, but I don't know what, I think 2022 probably wins because the back's better, but yeah,
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
No, I
actually.
don't-
He actually looks more impressive in Dubai than I thought.
No, I would go with the Dubai version. I think he's got a little bit thinner skin in the lower back, and I think the lower body conditioning is superior.
Pretty wide, isn't he?
Okay, and then what the
Yeah, I
hell
would take
happened
it.
here?
I would take it.
So you could see the lat tear is definitely doing something on this side here.
Yeah, you can.
You
Yeah,
can see that from the front.
Yes, yeah.
yeah.
And then the back is just more clearly separated. It's just not as mangled looking. And the lower body's bigger, maybe not as hard. It looks a little bit harder than it did in the last photo. But this is still probably a little more separated. But he's bigger in 2022 when conditioning is close. I would give this one a 2022.
Yeah, me too.
Mark?
That's 4 for 2022. That's 4 shots.
These aren't the best pictures either from the Arnold.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Oh,
that helps
I'll
my
tell you that
point.
right now. It's not the best pictures.
I don't think we need to look at all. I think abs and thighs. I think that'd be
The
an
more I
important
look
one.
back at
abs and
that,
thigh
the
will
more,
be
the
better.
more I had Bonac winning that.
The abs and
need-
thigh will be way better now.
I would agree. I'll give you that one. This he should never hit. By God, he should never hit.
Hey,
this.
he's not bad at it now.
You're right. It's gotten a little. It's still. He's not beating anybody. Let's make no mistake about it. And I think
No, but he's closer to Curry with the streamline, is what I'm saying. So against Curry, the more streamlined, he is going to do better.
no one looks at the comparison with Bonac and Curry and says, "Yep, Bonac is his waist is actually, it's only 2 times as wide instead of 3 times as wide as Brandon. Let's give it to him this time around." Bonac
Yeah,
needs to be
when Nick
over.
Walker's there.
Bonac needs to be overwhelming in the conditioning and the mass. And now
bit.
he's lost a little bit of the mass and the wow factor. If Brandon's full, it's kind of not a very good situation for Bonac to be in. Okay. And then this, you got to go with 2022. And side by side, it'd be more noticeable. But in the details, you can't really see them here. But the legs are
Yeah.
bigger. There's just more. There's just more.
With these.
Yeah.
Lower body, the
More
lower
bon-
body isn't holding up. The upper body's doing okay, but there's just more. All right. So we've established this. Okay. Your claim is that where do you have Brandon in your predictions?
9,
And Bonac is 8th?
8,
Okay.
yes.
And you're still on that.
I am most excited about the Olympia for that. Can't wait.
Really?
Oh, look. I hope he's a few places in. I hope they're not even in the same call out.
The legs.
That is pretty damn good, I gotta say.
Okay. Hold on. I have
Hold on. Let me find a bad shot.
No. The argument that Mark is about to make, he's making a video on it, that 2023 Brandon doesn't beat 2024 Bonac. I think that's probable. I think Brandon last year sucked. I'll be straight up. I don't think he was that good. And that's not really a knock on him. He a lot of that surely had to do with him being in the hospital. Right? This version right here, the legs blurry, didn't have the fullness. What if we get a slightly better version? Okay? Let's just assume. So here we have the 2021 Mr. Olympia. Not too far long ago. We can go to another version. Not the most conditioned, not the biggest, not the fullest. So I think it's a good balance, and it was the most recent that wasn't too far in one of those other directions. You're telling me that this beats Bonac? That Bonac beats this?
Oh, yes.
You think Bonac places ahead of this?
Yeah.
No way.
Okay.
No way. Not this version. No way.
Guys, what are we arguing here?
I never
Not
said
in this
it.
shot, no.
I never said
I don't
that
think I
Bonac
I
was
don't I don't
this
think
Curry.
I don't think this Curry will show up.
I
Okay,
don't
yeah.
think this Curry will show
No.
up either. That's
Okay,
what my
okay.
whole predictions are based on of what I
Okay,
think.
what if he does? Mark, what if he does?
Well, what if Bonac brought 2017?
No, we're narrow. Oh, he'd be Mr.
Yeah.
Olympia. We're narrowing this down. So if this Brandon shows up, is he beating Bonac?
Brandon shows up, he'll place fourth.
Rightfully so. Okay. Let's go to 2022.
Mark doesn't think this Brandon is going to show up.
Okay.
No!
I think what's more likely is Brandon 2022. Smaller, and again, not the best condition. Very aesthetic,
Yeah.
pretty round.
Not even.
Not that heavy here. Does this
Yeah.
beat Bonac?
Yeah, sure. Did
So
be
you're
more.
saying you're expecting Brandon to
Yeah.
be even smaller, even worse than this?
Less.
Because
Yeah.
okay, we've established that 2022 Bonac was better than 2024. Right?
Sure.
2022
Certain
didn't
aspects.
beat this small ass version of Brandon. What
But,
makes
like-
you think 2024 is going to do it?
Because the streamlined midsection is better equipped to do battle against a Brandon Curry than a bigger, because he's not going to beat him on full shape.
No, certainly
And
not.
this isn't the Curry that we're going to see. This
Yeah,
is the
right.
Curry of
You're
old.
right. That streamlined midsection of Bonac's, how could it ever beat this? It's just not possible.
He's
It's just not
losing.
possible.
He's losing less. It's like Curry. He needs to, if
he's
Curry
losing
gets
less.
more
He's
striations in
filling
the
in his
glutes,
gap.
right?
He's fixing his weakest link.
No, but if Curry gets more striations in the glutes, he could definitely beat him. But he's never going to be as striated in the glutes as Bonac. But if he could get closer to Bonac,
Okay. Brandon didn't even lose to Bonac here. What makes you think there's that big of a jump? That last time that fat version of Brandon in 2022 at the Olympia was several placings ahead of Bonac. What about it?
what
Oh.
year?
2022.
2022, he was massive.
He
And
was
that-
too big.
Well, that and Bonac wasn't that good that year.
True.
I think
He's good.
Dylan, I feel like your goal is to wear Mark out. Just wear him down
just-
emotionally.
You're actually building me up. I cannot wait. It's going to be
He's
so
getting stronger.
Okay.
I
I'm
concur.
not
let's
even
just-
going to message you. I'm going
Dylan
to
will
wait for you to
not
message
lose.
me.
And let's just assume the political factors. Brandon has never placed outside the top 5. They have a vested interest in Brandon Curry.
Yeah, we all kind of said that in our predictions as well.
Exactly,
Which is why we had
exactly.
Brandon. Part of why we had Brandon where he is.
Mark, what do you have to
Nobody's-
say?
Why did they give it to Bonac at the M-Pro then, if they're not pushing for Bonac? Against Michael Krizo, against
Oh,
Beirut, they're obviously liking.
Well,
He-
Krizo
fair and square
had his
deserve to beat
reasons.
Krizo. Yeah, Krizo. For Beirut, I
but
disagree.
What about Beirut?
I disagree heavily.
So they're liking Bonac now because he's been around a while. He looks good. When these older guys come back and they look good.
I'll concede. And Tyler,
maybe they knew Beirut wasn't making the Olympia.
that true.
I knew
So
he was.
true.
Maybe they knew.
So true. Yeah,
Exactly.
it doesn't take a rocket scientist. So let's go to a real opinion here. Xavier Wills of Desktop Bodybuilding. Who is placing higher, Brandon Curry or William Bonac?
So you slandered my predictions, and then you say, "Let's get your opinion." You are bipolar, my friend. So Brandon or Bonac? Man, this is like a coin toss.
Oh, here
for
we
me,
go.
'cause
Here we go.
I'm gonna say Brandon.
The expert says it's close.
the expert.
I'm gonna say if I was putting my money down, I'd put it on Curry, but I'd be nervous. You know what I mean? I'd be nervous because I just don't know. This is the least we've seen from him. We haven't seen the crazy doorway pictures. He's looked a
Okay.
little bit smaller in his lead up videos. He went out there later. Abdullah's doubting him. New team.
yeah,
A
yeah,
lot of things. A lot of things.
yeah.
Who has a
Another
better
one here.
chance? Who has a better chance of beating Hunter Labrada, Curry or Bonac?
I think they could both beat him.
Who has a
Curry.
better chance?
Oh. Curry.
Okay. Hunter, the thing is, Curry's in the driver's seat. They have to find reasons for him to push him back. For Bonac, we have to find reasons to push him ahead of a lot of good guys for him to get to Curry. And yeah, sure, they can meet in the middle. Brandon can work his way back, and Bonac can meet his way, in the middle. But it's like, is Bonac beating Raphael? Well, did you have Raphael in 10th? So I guess.
I got Brandale right behind both of them guys. So he's
Okay.
either going to place ahead of both of them guys or behind both of them. And I got him behind.
Okay. Okay, but it's just like Bonac, does he really have the tools to beat Raphael?
He's got tools that you wouldn't believe.
Hunter? the midsection is so streamlined. He should do men's physique.
You ought to see him in real life.
Did you?
You wouldn't believe it. No, but I've talked to people that have.
Okay. So in conclusion, Mark, you're dying on this hill. I will as well. We'll see it in Vegas, Mark.
We will. Yes, we will.
We will see it in Vegas. Final thoughts, anybody? Oh, great.
Good to wake up in the morning and see sunlight to get your circadian rhythm right.
Exactly, because it's early for you.
Good thought.
Yep. Well, it's 11 now, so yeah. Anyway, I've got stuff to do, so I've got to wrap this up too.
Yeah.
Okay. Kinson,
So
final thought? Do you have one?
It is time for, I certainly do. It is time for my final meal and then my rest period to get up and train hours before you even think about getting out of bed.
Well, I actually, because I train so hard, I have to put it at the end of the day because I have to spend the rest of the day recovering because I train so hard.
Makes sense.
Exactly. Because
Yeah.
I'll just sit around and be lethargic all day because, like, I don't know if you've ever trained like that hard, but like when I train, it's like extremely, extremely intense. So it would ruin my day.
You should post some of them.
You're a true bodybuilder, Dylan. You're a true bodybuilder.
hardcore.
You take after Rich Piana himself.
Rich Piana was the goat.
A good bodybuilder is a lazy bodybuilder.
So
You
true.
nailed it, man.
So true. And Mark, do you have a
You
final
nailed it.
thought?
Jerry's final thought. I cannot wait till Bonac beats Curry at that Olympia. I'm looking more forward to that than anything.
Should we put like a small bet on it? Should we do anything
No.
like that?
No, the laughing at you will be enough. I'll bet you my Ram Man toy.
I don't have any like collectibles I can bet you.
One of your Ecto ones will do just fine.
No, that's not worth a Ram Man.
82?
Correct.
Ecto 1? I know it. My Ecto 1's from 89. That's a lot newer than a Ram Man.
That's please. We'll work it out. We'll work it out.
You
All right.
have to start 3 of your videos by saying, "Hello everyone, Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle." And I'll start mine. What do you do? My name is
No. You probably don't even watch my videos. They go completely over your head. You're like, well, I want to watch these comparisons because they make mine look so one-dimensional.
No, I watched one of yours.
You were floored.
No, it was very well put together. It
I
was,
know, they're good.
Best of People's Champion or something like that.
Oh, yes, because, yeah.
Never seen it so well put together.
I know. It's great.
Congratulations.
You're welcome. Anyway, that's going to do it for this live episode of the Project Body. What's so funny? Funny?
It was
Somebody
my
called.
I'm just glad I'm just glad I made it. That's all.
They
Of
were my
course.
pictures.
Glad
he
you made
used.
it.
They were
What's
my
that?
pictures he used.
That's true. They were missized.
Yeah, and then he
Still
ragged
like
on my
some, I suppose.
sizing. He stole my pictures, used them, and then he ragged on my sizing.
You gave them to me. I asked
Right.
you for them. Yeah, I'm using these pictures. They suck, but it's the best we got.
Ever hear a step on the line?
Ever hear of step in line? Please. How about you get out the ruler with the height comparison app? That's what I do in my comparisons. That's why they're top notch.
That's what I've done before. Yeah, I get the height chart, transparent height chart.
That's exactly
Got
what
it
I do.
right here, buddy boy.
Why is there a mark at 1.5 inches?
Where?
That's the size of
Anyway.
Ronnie Coleman on his screen.
Yeah, that's the Ronnie Coleman caricature.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, I'm sorry. That's 10 inches. Wow. Very impressive. Let's see.
That is Mark's max muscle.
Let's
Max,
see.
Max muscle. Now
Let's
we
see
really
Xavier
know the
Wills'
meaning.
rule.
I understand now.
Let's see Xavier Wills' ruler.
My ruler. I have nothing funny to pull up to show you to make it
Right.
all okay.
All right.
Yeah, you know.
That was episode 27 of the Project Bodybuilding Podcast, live edition. And you all will be back. Can I announce this?
Ooh, Jeep.
When?
I'm going to announce this 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, September. Let me make absolutely sure I'm not saying anything dumb. September 29th. That's a Sunday, September 29th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be back doing a live comparison on this podcast. Are you excited, Xavier?
Marginally. Yeah.
Excuse me?
No, I am. I am excited. Yeah, it'll be good. I am excited. Yeah.
Extremely.
All right. And then others will be here as well. So it's going to be very good.
Palpable.
Everyone's description is down. Everyone's channels, socials, down in the description. That's going to do it for us. That's all I have to say. I will see you all